All right, hello, welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back if you have. My intention is unity and oneness and the highest levels of love light. I'm just going to go into a little flow. So, and there are many incoming energies right now. There is much that is being felt among the body, the many masses, the mass of people, the mass. We invite you to soften. We invite you to open. We invite you to let go of the need to sit within a certain barrier, so to speak, to keep ourselves within our boxes of that which is decomposing. The decomposition that has fallen apart, if you will, is merely playing out old patterns through this redirection, redirection of energy. You're okay, buddy. This redirection of energy is distracting many. Yet we invite you to redirect your energy into the heart, making sure to compose that which is seeking to pull you into I'm being guided to play with these words. So I'm seeing like decomposing. I'm seeing if you compose art, music, the music that was holding, and the chemistry and the geometry that was holding the old stationary, okay, and that's play on words too. The old that was being held in place, stationary, not moving, but also that which was written, the old stationary. Think about how often we really use stationary anymore. That music composure, that archaeology is not there anymore. It's there, but it's not holding together. And what's happening is it's basically in the process of decomposing. But as something decomposes, I was shown, is it fossil fuel or sulfur? Like sometimes when things decompose, they let off this steam. There's certain things that escape it, right? Gas escapes, fumes escape. And we're essentially seeing the fumes that are escaping, and we are essentially hearing the tunes that are trying to draw us into the old landscape, so to speak. And those that thought they were escaping are merely in the process of being diffused. So this is such a big play on words. But this has created confusion because what we're hearing are the new bandwidths. We're playing in the new energy, yet we're also seeing this old architecture kind of playing out, if you will. This creates confusion, and that's a play on words, the inability to fuse together, because people are still distracted, pulled apart by what they are witnessing, and it's pulling at their emotions. And this creates I'm hearing false match and a demotion. So it's like we want to move rather than being stationary, but what direction are we moving into motion? What are we putting into motion? What emotions are being churned, and how are we processing them? Are we doing it from a place of coherence? I talked a little bit about this in another video I did about social media. Are we in a place of open, soft awareness, recognizing that we are each on our own individual journey of expression and expansion, or are we poo-pooing on others' journey who are not doing any harm? So we're really being invited to take a step back, because when we do that, we're creating this energy and feeding into this false system, because the false system tells us that we're supposed to be polarized. Thumbs up, thumbs down, left, right, all of this stuff. Masculine, feminine, all of it has been so distorted, even that, and that is reflecting in our platform in which we are expressing ourselves on. So how can we truly be free to express ourselves in a higher dimensional vocabulary and way of communication if the platform in which we are expressing ourselves on is really meant to create separation? It's not really working that way, because overall the separation is actually creating more of this threading through the network of star seeds and light workers and humans that are having this experience together. But that's part of what we're seeing falling apart. So we're being guided to not play into that and start to operate from a higher heart frequency, not from a place of the lower, he said, she said, right, wrong, limitations. For when others are expressing their, I'm hearing awakening journey, I'm hearing beautiful dance, it isn't about what we think of them. We've been taught that it is about that, but it isn't. It's how does that make us feel? And if it doesn't, I'm going to repeat this from the other video, if it doesn't make us feel good, it feels out of alignment, then we're being asked, how are we responding and reacting to that? Are we choosing to feed into it by pushing a negative projection onto them, which is a cartoon, third 3D, 4D type of response? Or are we saying, to each his own, to each her own. Do no harm. I'm not going to play with this. I'll move on. And that's something that's a big deal for a lot of people right now who are in the process of really sharing their awakening experiences. So as we align ourselves with the higher frequencies, the need to play in the lower bandwidths loses its potency. We no longer feel called to respond to those who don't get us. We no longer feel called to defend ourselves, so to speak. For the defense mechanisms are merely that, mechanisms that have been put into place to defend our right, so to speak, our right to speak, our right to be who we choose to be in any given moment. So we are being invited to play with these frequencies in such a way that it softens all that is within us, all that has held us under. I'm seeing a thumb, under a thumb, and I'm seeing that being lifted, and I'm being shown, like many people have entrained themselves to behave a certain way, and now that's gone. But it's such a habit pattern that they're still kind of on that bandwagon, so to speak. And this isn't said in a negative way. It's just something that's happening within the collective. But as we soften and as we allow ourselves to go within and look at our own projections, look at our own self, our own framework in which we are operating from, we start to continue to hear the noise that is playing in the background, that is pulling us out of our true course of action, our true, I'm hearing heart chords, our true course of inner action, moving from the inner knowing of the spaciousness and creativity that we are all connected to. For we are all, I'm just seeing this beautiful body of energy. I'm seeing this body of energy, like if you picture a giant galaxy, and each of the planets is represents an organ, we'll say, in the cosmic body. What would we want Earth to represent, right? And I'm seeing how in the cells in our body, there may be an invader or someone, a particular cell within the body that's dis-ease, but then there can be this great coming together in the body to heal that disease and to help it to dissolve and disintegrate, so to speak. And I'm seeing us as a body of the network, doing this with the internet, doing this with social media, doing this in all arenas. For we are the Cirque du Soleil, if you will. I'm seeing this as a play on words. Like there's a circus playing out, we're the sun. We're the suns, we're shining the light on the circus. And we're also the performers. So what is it that we would like to perform in this? And when I say Cirque du Soleil is a beautiful performance. Yes, it's a circus. So do we want to play in the part that isn't beautiful, or do we want to be a part of what is beautiful? And again, this brings us back into alignment with the energies that are coming in from the sun, from the earth, from each other. Because each of us holds within us these codes, and as we allow ourselves to feel with our own discernment, that's also a play on words. I'm hearing inner meaning, inner quantum entanglement, but we're finding what it is that we are more of, and moving away from that which we are not any longer, even though we may have participated in that old circus at one time. At any given moment, we have the opportunity to hear, see, feel, and go back into that place of, am I responding from my highest and greatest good? I know I just went into like 5 different areas here, and there are many deeper layers. If I went back and played with the words, maybe someday I'll have to go back and type all of these up and talk about some of the deeper layers. But in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in and just sharing space with one another. And until the next video, in love and light, namaste.